you understand what it's like?
I do understand what it's like because I've been there. You know, I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to access free school meals. When I was at school getting free school meals, we even had to sit at separate tables. I mean...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In 1936, people from my constituency in Jarrow marched to Parliament demanding jobs. They were living in poverty and were hungry. 86 years later, and 39% of kids in Jarrow are still hungry. So will the Deputy Prime Minister and his government end this scandal and commit to providing free school meals to all 800,000 children, 40,000 of them in the North East, to households in receipt of universal credit?
So when I was growing up, I got free school meals. I was in a one-parent family. Me and my sister got free school meals. In fact, my son was getting free school meals up until the point that I was elected into here. I got free school meals. I was in a one-parent family. Me and my sister got free school meals. When my oldest son was at school, he received free school meals. My sister's 4 kids received free school meals. I relied on family tax credit because my income was fairly modest. We've got kids growing up in Jarrow that are hungry and they're going to school and they're in families that are receiving universal credit but they're not eligible for free school meals. 40,000 kids in the North East are living in food poverty. One of my food banks has had a 50% rise in people accessing the food bank in the last 6 months. People are desperately struggling. One school have got the heating set at 18 degrees because they can't afford to have it any higher. They're telling the teachers, the staff, to wear gloves and hats to try and keep warm. How are kids supposed to learn when they're sitting there cold and hungry? It's absolutely disgraceful in the 6th richest country in the world.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Can I thank the Honourable Lady? She'll know that we've extended the eligibility of free school meals to 1.9 million pupils. There's also on top of that the £200 million holiday activities and food programme and then £1,200 of direct payments to the most vulnerable. But I would just gently say to her, we also need to keep an eye on the macroeconomic picture. The #1 priority is to get inflation down, and we won't be able to do that if we follow the plans of the benches opposite.
Esther McVeigh.
Mr. Speaker, given that we have... You understand what it's like?
I do understand what it's like because I've been there. You know, I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to access free school meals. When I was at school getting free school meals, we even had to sit at separate tables. I mean, I don't remember if I was embarrassed by that. You know, it was just it was just what happened, and I understood that my mum couldn't afford to, you know, she qualified for free school meals and that was fine, but there was a bit of a stigma to it, you know, all the kids with free school meals sitting at separate tables. And I think that people now sometimes feel embarrassed because they're accessing food banks. In the same way that they might feel embarrassed if they can access free school meals, although I hope that there's no schools out there that do what, you know, in the way that, you know, separate the kids in the way that I remember it. Well, I'd like to see them give free school meals for all kids, particularly primary school children, so we know that kids are getting at least one decent meal every day. It doesn't just assist the parents, but it will help them learn. You know, if they're not sitting there hungry, at the very least, we need to be giving all kids that are in families receiving universal credit free school meals.
How many of those? How many families are receiving?
Well, in the North East, there's 40,000, but in the UK, there's 800,000 kids. 800,000 kids that should be receiving free school meals that are living in families that are receiving universal credit.